Let's step up here and talk. It's right over here.
Well, it's right this way. It's closer to the top.
This is a man who believed he was exercising his personal freedoms under the Fourth Amendment. After admitting to firing shots into the ground to scare off chickens on his property, he steadfastly refused to identify himself to the officers, believing no crime had been committed. You have the right to privacy, but do you have the right to refuse ID when police are investigating shots fired from your property? Look at this man's mistake. He knows the Fourth Amendment well, but he missed one detail. Police don't need absolute proof of a crime to demand identification during a lawful investigation. His stubbornness at the scene transformed him from a troubled neighbor into a criminal defendant.
It's an ongoing dispute about the property line, and he can't stay off me, and I've asked him to stay off me. So I'll come out here and was just going to put up a fence. I've not said anything to him. And he come out there and stood behind that van right yonder. And I assume he shot up in the air, but you can see his little target sitting right down there. It's directly in line with us. He shoots every friggin' day we come out here.
Okay.
If we're outside, he's out here shooting. And it's a constant agitation with him.
I got you.
But, you know, he wants to shoot guns while we're sitting over on the porch. It's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But with no backstop. But we're down here fencing, and he's out there popping off rounds. I'm going as far. This has been going for 5 years.
I got you.
We ain't spoken 2 or 3, so.
Okay.
But it never ends with him.
I got you. You got your ID with you, sir?
I do.
Perfect.
This is probably just going to make it worse.
You still
But
can't be out here doing that.
It's got to get documented somewhere or another that this is going on. Get it out.
They're in there tight, I tell you. Has he said anything to you today, or?
No, we've not spoken to each other in 2 or 3 years.
I got you.
Dispatch, any outlook. 10-464.
What's a good phone number for you, sir?
615-633-7205.
7205, gotcha. All right, if you don't mind, go ahead and hop in your vehicle so we can talk to him. Yeah. Hi there.
Yeah.
Let's step up here and talk. It's right over here.
Well, it's right this way. It's closer to the top. How are you? Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Another one. It is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'm Sergeant Everton. This is Sergeant Myers. She's going to be one dealing with you. Anytime we deal with a call that has to do with a gun, I'm going to take it off your side, okay?
No.
Yes.
Well, if that's what you're going to do, then I'm saying it's not okay as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, we're going to take it off your side.
All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the reason that we're here is we got a call about someone firing shots up in the air. Okay. So that's why there's so many of us coming out here. Okay.
Pretty interesting. I can't wait to get the y'all's body cams running.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you said Everton and Meyer.
Sergeant Meyer.
Well, there's no crimes being committed here. So
Look, we're not saying that you committed a crime.
No,
we're
I'm
just
just-
saying that
I'm just
we're just
making a
saying that
statement.
we've got to. I understand that,
right, yeah.
and I'm not an advocate to take people's guns. I'm not, but it's just an officer safety thing. As soon as we figure this out, if there's nothing wrong, I'm gonna give you your gun back. I'm cool with everybody having guns. I'm cool with everybody walking around with them. We're definitely pro-gun. I'm not here to take your gun. I'm not here to try to
Well, I
infringe
thought
on
Wilbur
your
y'all are
rights.
doing a good job so far. I can't wait to see what this Tuck guy's bringing in though.
Okay. So at any point did you fire your weapon up in the air, sir?
No.
Okay. Why would we get a call that said that you had?
Whenever I started my mower a minute ago, all my chickens was congregated underneath my van once again. So I dropped 2 shots in the ground to scare them all back to their coop. But it wasn't in the air. There was 2 shots fired, and it was in the ground.
Okay.
It clears them out fast. It's not the first time I've done it.
I got you. I understand that completely. So at no point you fired the weapon up in the air?
No.
Okay.
I would never fire a weapon up in the air. I just got finished with a training class this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, what goes up comes back down.
Yeah, you don't ever fire a weapon. I just fired them off into the ground.
Alright, you got your ID with you, sir?
I haven't committed any crime.
Sir, we're out here for a call for service. We have to identify everybody.
Now I wish I had a camera. Your camera's on, sir? Okay, I can't tell if it is. Yours is? Okay. And you are Vincent, and you are Woodard?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, actually, I don't have an ID on me, but I'm not going to ID. I'm not giving you my name and date of birth because there's been no crime. I'll protect my 4th Amendment.
The 4th Amendment at this point gets put aside when, okay.
I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to resist, but I'm not going to ID.
Look,
I've done no crime.
Listen to me.
But I'm just telling you. I'm glad. I'm really glad.
Listen. We don't want to arrest you.
Listen, well, you don't want to ID me either because I ain't committed no crime.
We have a right to ID you because we had a call for service out here.
No, sir.
You said that you fired shots off.
I didn't say that she asked if I fired him in the air. So it doesn't matter if I fired shots off on my
So we get a gun call. You see what I'm saying?
No.
We get a gun call.
No. Am I arrested? What am I arrested for?
Right now you're detained.
Okay. Well, if I'm being arrested for not giving my...
Right now we're trying to give you a chance to tell your side and try to ID you that way.
I'm not ID.
You're not IDing.
That's what I'm not refusing to ID, but until you give me a lawful reason as to why I have to ID.
Okay.
Because we got a call for service. And
That call for service is not a lawful reason to ID, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is.
No, it ain't, because anybody could call and make anything up. If I hadn't shot those, fired those shots, and he called it up and lied to y'all,
We still go get his ID too.
So what if
I
you're
already
lying
got
that you
his.
shot it in the ground and instead you shooting at them?
I wasn't. But that's burden of proof is on them. It's not burden of proof for me to prove I'm innocent, is it?
That's why we're out
Well,
here.
I'm
We're
just
trying to
making a
figure out what's
statement.
going
It's
on.
not. You got cameras on your eyeglasses too?
No.
No, they just saw the little circles, and I didn't know if it was those.
Those are blenders.
Well, no crime's been committed, so I don't know quite what to say.
Let me explain like the reason for IDing.
I'm not really wanting to hear it. I'm really not. Are you going to arrest me for not for failure to ID? Because that's a secondary charge. You got to have a crime first, and I have not committed any crime.
I've tried to explain to you why we have to ID you, sir.
I'm trying
You're
to
not
explain
hearing
to you
me.
why I'm protecting my 4th Amendment right. And
And
had I known that it was going to be this way, I would have went and got my phone camera so I could have recorded this. Am I free to go?
Not right now, sir.
Okay.
No.
Okay. What crime are you detaining me for?
It's an investigation.
Okay. Should we move off of my property because y'all are currently trespassing and I'm rescinding any?
No, we're not.
Again.
Okay. I'm just
Call for
rescinding
service.
any invite or any type of y'all are on here because of y'all and y'all's lawful orders, not because of being invited and not because this is casual.
10-4.
I understand, sir. Look, we don't want to have to take you to jail.
I don't want to go to jail. But
Okay.
if you're going to arrest me on something that is a secondary offense when you actually have no original crime, then that's just something I'm going to have to fight in court. Isn't that what you always say? No roadside court. Just do it after the fact, and if I have to sue the county, then I sue the county. No big deal.
Well, we have to see who we're messing with. We have to run their IDs, see who you are. You say you are.
Just because somebody give you a call to service doesn't mean I have to surrender my 4th Amendment right. It does not.
It's not.
It does not.
Right.
No,
we've come out here for a reason.
It's right now. This is an investigation. You can investigate if you have proof that I shots fired. Matter of fact, you didn't even say shots fired at him. You said shots fired at him. You said, how in the world do we know, since you said they were shots fired, that you didn't shoot them at him? She didn't even say shot at him. She said shot in the air. Shot at him would come up on your part.
You said that you shot in the ground. How do we know if you shot in the ground or shot up in the air? Because they called in and said you shot up in the air. How do we know if you shooting at
Well,
them?
then they need proof, or else
You see where
they're
we're at?
filing
You see
false
where we're
out.
at?
Either they're
You see
filing.
where we're at?
Are you going to let me answer? Either they are filing false allegations or your investigation will prove otherwise. But until you have the proof, the burden of proof is not on me to prove that I didn't shoot in the air. Now I'm sitting here telling you I'm not a moron, so I didn't shoot in the air.
Okay.
We're not saying you're moron, but
No, anybody that does is though.
we either need an
All right.
ID or name and
All
date
right,
of
put your
birth.
hands behind your back.
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand together like you're praying, so that way it doesn't pinch you.
And what am I being arrested for?
Right now, failure to identify.
Okay, failure to identify is a secondary offense. You need an original charge.
Disorderly
No.
conduct.
There's no disorderly conduct on private property. I didn't do anything. And you don't have proof that I did.
Right together.
Yeah,
more.
you are being
Little more.
disorderly when you're not.
No, I'm not.
When you're not doing what we're asking.
No, that's not disorderly. Disorderly. Can you even be the complainant in a disorderly, or do you have to have somebody else?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
All right, do you have anything else on you, sir?
Yes, I got a magazine
Okay.
in this pocket right here.
All right.
Or I'm not giving you permission to take any of
Well,
my
you're
belongings.
in custody right now.
Okay,
so
I'm just
search
letting you know.
incident
Well-
to arrest.
That's a false arrest.
All right. All prerogative.
No, it's law.
Okay.
You either follow the law or you don't. You're supposed to be here upholding your oath to the Constitution.
You're right.
Well, this is a Fourth Amendment oath violation. You don't have a crime.
You're gonna call for service.
It doesn't matter if you get called for service. Any loony can call you up and tell you to go
All right, sir, come on.
search somebody. Yeah.
Mine's the first car up in here.
Well, they have to get you to respond. You can't work this way off anonymous, can you?
First car up here. Have a seat. I got it. I'll put it up here with me.
The subject argued that failure to ID is a secondary offense and requires an underlying crime for a lawful arrest. In theory, he is partially correct in certain jurisdictions, but in reality, when shots are fired, officers have reasonable suspicion to detain. Once detained, a refusal to cooperate can be interpreted as obstruction or disorderly conduct.
I'll give you the firearm that come off this side. I just put it in my passenger floorboard, that way it was out of play.
All right. Failure to identify, and I'm pretty sure he's intoxicated.
I can smell it.
Well, I mean,
Well, there you
that's
go.
disorderly too, man. He said it can't be on private property.
I'm not going to stand out here. It's too hot.
Well,
He's intoxicated.
we tried.
You know who he is?
Intoxicated, he's admitted to shooting, he won't cooperate.
What's his name?
I don't know.
He's refusing to identify.
Well, I mean, I know of him.
Not much
Very
off.
reckless endangerment. Shooting at there.
That's my whole thing is that we've got the record thing to go see and, fire off the road.
I agree with you.
His Fourth Amendment rights prohibits us from asking for his ID. So,
We come call for service. Name, date of birth, or ID. He said that's. He said that don't need to write for ID.
He does, all day long, investigating that crime.
I'm dealing with
Potential
this
crime, actual crime, whatever it is. If you don't want to participate, what more can you do?
He said he fired 2 shots into the ground to scare chickens back away from his vehicle. So, had he just identified himself, it could have been a report and we'd be on our way. But
Well, we don't know if that's really what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're trying to explain.
That's what I was trying to explain to
How
him.
do we know if you
He said I was calling him a
cooperate?
moron. I could smell it on him.
let me see if there's anything else I needed.
And then when we come out here, Julio drove up. I was going to drive in fence post, and Julio drove up, and he come and stood back there at the back of his van right yonder. And he shot. We heard 3 shots. I'd say they was in the air. I'm not saying he shot at us. I'm not going to go there. But he shoots back this way every day. You can see his little target on the bumper. I mean, every day we're home, he comes back here and shoots. Or he stands back there at that van and shoots that target. Now that's kind of in line with my property. There's no backstop. It's a constant agitation, just enough. Coming out here and shooting there, me standing in my driveway is about all I can stand. So I probably should have tolerated more, but I don't know. I think this is the worst thing I probably could have. But I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? I need it on record that.
Well, unfortunately, if we don't start doing something, it's going to get worse. And I'm not saying that it won't.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least you've done your part, to try to prevent it going to the next step.
Yeah, I don't believe it will.
You just gonna bring it down there for me?
What's that?
His gun.
I'll give it to you.
All right. What do you need to give to us, sir?
The van keys. You can't leave the house with the kids.
All right, are they on the mower?
No, they're on me.
Okay. I'll get them and I'll give them to her.
I ain't cleared it or nothing else. It's exactly how it was.
Hold that. Clear.
That's clear.
Guess I could have cleared it from the better spots, but. Where are the keys at, sir? Right there.
Have you told me, have y'all figured anything out yet?
Yes.
Okay.
We give these to his wife down there at the house.
You can put them in his property.
He said he needs to give them to his wife.
We're not going to be liable because he's going to try to sue us already, so it goes his property.
All right. Dispatch.
So what is it I'm being arrested for?
Right now, failure to identify disorderly conduct.
Okay, and does this cruiser have camera recording inside the cruiser?
No, but my body cam's still going.
Okay.
68 dispatch. I'll have one male in custody.
468.
Go ahead, 33.
Yes, just one-time emergency. Stand by.
10-4, one-time emergency to Navy.
Was it 7 officers responding?
I don't know, sir. I didn't count. Failure to identify, so I don't know. Alright, come on out, sir. He has a holster on his head, the firearms with me.
Case details. Reason for contact. Responding to an emergency call regarding shots fired. Refusal to identify. Disorderly conduct, obstruction,